Hi, I'm attorney Gregory Dell here with attorney Cesar Gavidia, and we're going to talk about a really common question, which is can the disability insurance company conduct video surveillance of me anywhere? And Cesar, we get this question almost all the time, and we've talked about it similar in other videos, but I want to get back into it because it seems like, we're not coming out of, we're still in COVID and more people are home and people are feeling like, well, I'm safe at home, they're not going to video me. But what are the boundaries of this surveillance and video surveillance as well?
So, look, there's no question. So anytime that you perceive or think that you're under surveillance, it's an invasion of privacy. At least it feels like your privacy is being invaded. There's certain parameters and limits to what they can surveil, where they can go. They can't come into your home, all right? If they could basically film you and follow you anywhere that the general public has access to. So if you're in your front yard and they're parked in a car down the street, and they've got a telephoto lens and they're zooming in on you, and you're, taking the garbage can inside or you're taking groceries out of your car, they're going to capture all of that on surveillance. And that's some of the very common surveillance that we see, right? It starts getting into a little bit of a gray area when I have someone tell me they were parked across the street and they were shooting video into my home, like into my windows. Well, the general public could, if they're walking by your home and your shades aren't drawn, your blinds are up, they could see into your home. So if the general public could see it, then their cameras can see it and the disability insurer is going to see it. But if you ever feel any sense of, harassment, or you feel any sense of, that if you have some, a surveillance team on you and they're shooting into your home, or you feel that they're kind of, there's a presence of them around, call the police and they will show up. They will question them. They will ask what they're doing there, who they are, who they're working for, and they have to describe themselves. So usually they're private investigators. They'll provide their credentials. They'll show them their identification. They'll tell them they're working for Prudential or Unum or whoever, and then And the last thing that they want really is to be discovered that they're conducting surveillance, because the best type of surveillance is the surveillance you're not aware of, because it's capturing your activities without thinking that anybody's watching you, and to the insurance company, they're getting the best assessment of you.
And so, just so we're clear, Cesar, to answer the question, I mean, outside your house, they can film you. They can follow you to the grocery store, the bank, Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you go, taking your kid to school, possibly
Into a restaurant, into the grocery store. I mean, if you belong to any sort of social clubs or anything like that, they could follow you into those places as long as it's not a private place.
So, Caesar, along those lines, how often should a claimant assume that they're being surveyed?
You could certainly expect it anytime the claim is under active review, right? So, very common when people make initial claims. Very common when claims are denied and they're during the course of an appeal. Surveillance isn't inexpensive. I mean, they have to pay, anywhere upwards of, the high hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars, depending on the amount of surveillance they're seeking. So, they're not going to be obviously performing it constantly. I have people who call me and they think that the surveillance team has been on them for a month or two. That would be very, very extremely rare, and I think that would probably only be justified if the insurance company thinks that this person's engaged in some sort of fraudulent activity, right? But in terms of the length of surveillance, usually you can expect it anywhere from 3 days to a week. They may split it up a little bit, so 3 days 1 week and 3 days, another week. If you have to report to an independent medical examination that they want to send you to, they'll most certainly usually employ some surveillance in and around the time that you have to go to that independent medical examination.
Cesar, people call us also, and it's totally normal to be anxious or paranoid about the disability insurance company watching you because they are watching you. Um, are they tapping phone lines? And have you ever seen that before?
Never. I've never seen it. I've never seen any phone lines tapped. And you were a former prosecutor. You know that you can't just tap somebody's phone lines, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the type of thing that requires subpoenas from a court. If a disability insurance company was discovered to be tapping your phone lines, the last thing they have to worry about is having to pay out your disability benefits, because there could be potentially criminal charges brought against them for conducting that type of thing.
Right. So they're clearly, and we get the question though weekly, are they listening to my phone calls? So they're not. But the other form of surveillance, Caesar, that we know that they're doing all the time is digital surveillance, social media surveillance. Explain what that is and how often you're seeing that being done.
Yeah, that is extremely common, extremely common. I mean, social media these days is the open window into your entire life. And some people post so much on social media. I personally, I don't think it's a good idea, especially if you're on disability, to have any social media accounts. And if you feel that you need to have a social media account, you definitely have to monitor it. You definitely have to have everything set to private, because they will, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds of pages in claim files dedicated just to social media activity. So if it's on social media and you're posting pictures and you're talking about the activities, or we're in a political climate right now, and maybe you feel compelled to do something or go somewhere, to voice your opinions about things, and that's all going to be captured on, if it's in social media or wherever you're posting it, it's going to be discovered by the disability insurer, and you can sure as heck bet that they're going to try to find some way to suggest that because you're this active on social media, because you're able to go here or go there or attend this or attend that, and you're able to even be posting, so many posts a day, that you should be able to perform your occupation. So you got to be really careful about social media, because it is one of the first places the disability insurance company is going to go. And the reason they go to it first is so, before you talk to somebody like me or you who tells them, hey, set your social media to private or take down your social media, the insurance company's got everything they need already.
And what about looking at the profiles of family members as well?
Yeah, they'll do that as well. Basically, any access to somebody who's connected to you that may not be, set to private. I've seen that happen. It's not as common. It's not really as common, but I have seen spouses' social media pages and stuff come up. Certainly, if it's set to private, they have no right to that information. But if it's not, and the general public can access it, so can the insurance company. And all they got to do is take a few screenshots to see that nice vacation you all took, a couple of months ago, and and look, who's not trying to enjoy their vacation? Who's not trying to spend a little, R&R on the beach, with a book, and, instead of sending their surveillance team out, they got all the snapshots they want right on that social media page.
And Cesar, you and I have had a couple cases like this where a claimant goes to the park with their family. Nothing wrong with that. And the private investigator who's been hired actually goes up to the person, kind of like acting like another person at the park, and has conversations with the claimant, in a way kind of befriends them. And so it's not just a video form of surveillance. It can also be a written report from an investigator who submits a report under oath saying, saw this person, I overheard their conversation because I was sitting wherever and they're talking about traveling and dinner here tonight and going to this event and that event. And so the bottom line is you got to be careful who you talk to. You got to watch your back and look over your shoulder all the time to see who's around you. But the most important thing is, as long as you're not doing anything inconsistent with what you told your doctors that you couldn't do, then you don't have to worry about any of this. But what happens is you have a good day, or you feel okay for an hour, or you do something that doesn't represent what you would have to do ordinarily in your job for 6 to 8 hours a day, and you could get caught in that particular moment, and it takes one little picture to make it look like it's everything for you. So, the point of this video is really be cautious. You don't really have a spot other than in your home with the blinds down to feel like they're not watching you. It's just the cost of dealing with a disability company. It's out there, and the way to combat it is don't do anything inconsistent with what you told your doctor. That's the bottom line here. So no matter what stage your claim is at, feel free to call Cesar or myself or any of our lawyers. We're always going to provide you with initial free consultation to discuss your claim. We represent claimants all over the country. We encourage you to go through our website, search by your company, your occupation, or your medical condition, and you're going to find a lot of helpful information. We encourage you to leave feedback about your experience with your disability company so that other claimants can benefit from that as well. If you like this video, we'd love for you to subscribe to this video so that you can get notification about other videos where we're always trying to offer helpful tips which allow claimants to either get approved for disability or stay on disability for as long as they need the benefit. So we'll be here when you need us, and we look forward to speaking with you in the future.